Now, I went to investigate a leaking roof yesterday, and by all accounts, the roof hadn't leaked for a couple of years, and suddenly it started to leak. So, what do you think caused the leak? Now, it didn't take me long to figure out what was causing the leak. It was fairly obvious, and it's something that we see fairly often. And it's just the simple matter of a tile at the valley sliding out and leaving a gap. And subsequently, there's a gap at the valley. So when it rains, the water gets in through the gap, runs along the valley, and then it comes out a little bit of distance from where the leak originated. Now, you would ask, why does a tile slide off the valley? Now, we've found that this is in particular a problem with concrete tile roofs, and a little bit different with a terracotta tile roof. We don't have that slippage as much on a terracotta roof, but concrete tile roofs, whether they are a contoured profile or a flat profile, they will slide off at the valley. So the question you would ask is, why is this roof being installed in such a way that tiles are permitted to slide off at the valley? And I think the main reason is because the code hasn't caught up with reality. There's actually nothing in the roofing code that calls for how you tie a tile at the valley. So you could look through the National Construction Code and the installation manuals that are put out by the tile companies, and you wouldn't find this thing called a valley clip. Now, what is a valley clip? So if you do a search, a valley clip is just a little bit of a wire. That's what the valley clip looks like. And the intention is that the valley clip is to hold the little triangle tiles in place at the valley so they don't slip and cause a leak. Now, if you really want to find out how the valley clips work, this video by JCU, roofing mob in Victoria, has got it nailed. So the short video, it tells you exactly how the valley clips should be installed, and if it's done correctly, it should be a good means to hold the triangular tile in place so it doesn't slide off and cause a leak at the valley.
As you can see, this is how it's meant to look. So it grabs onto the watercourse and straight up. This has a better bondage and a better grab. Now I'll install it close up so you can exactly see what I mean. See how it's sitting nice and flush? You grab the clip, you make sure you grab the bottom of the watercourse and onto the other tile. Like straight. So it sits like this. So it has a better grab, so it won't move. If you do it sideways, it only has a little bit of a grab. But if you do it straight, a bit more of a straight, a little bit, still on the angle, but it's a little bit straighter, it has a lot better grab. So you go like that. See how it's sitting? That's not going nowhere. It looks like it's not grabbing, but it's grabbing. See that? And I'm putting a lot of pressure. If I put it sideways, like this, like that, what most people do, because they think this is how you're supposed to grab, it slides out of position. See that? So you want to grab the bottom of the tile with your finger, place it on the bottom, push it up so it grabs both tiles and holds it in place. Now look at that. That's not going nowhere. See that?
So now that we know that the valley clip is one means to hold the cut tile in place at the valley to prevent slippage, are there any other ways that you could use to come up with the same solution? Now, according to the code, there are two ways to be compliant. One is a so-called performance solution, and the performance solution is quite complicated because it goes through quite a few steps, and it involves a lot of proving that what you're proposing is actually going to work. So it's quite involved, time consuming, and I would assume quite expensive. The other way you could be compliant is what they call a deemed to satisfy, a DTS solution. And a deemed to satisfy means that you refer to something that's already in the code and you say, okay, I'm going to use that solution, not any other solution, but that solution. And if you use that, then you're compliant. But in this particular case, where you've got the problem of tile slippage at the valley, what do? There's nothing in the code that tells you what to do. So one question is the valley clip a performance solution or a deemed to satisfy solution? I don't really know. What do you think? Now, the next thing we should ask is, what other solutions are there besides the valley clip? Now, if you look at this particular series of pictures, you'll see that a little bit of silicon is on the little triangular tiles at the valley. And what's the silicon for? Well, when we went and had a look at this particular roof, the silicon was quite old and there was no tile slippage. So obviously the silicon is there and it's doing a job. So is this a performance solution? And I think one answer to this is to ask, now Jack, what did you do when you discovered that there was this slip tile at the valley? What was your solution? Well, have a look through these videos that I've done in the pictures, and the silicon solution was the solution that I proposed. A couple of reasons why. One, you don't carry a packet of valley clips with you everywhere you go. And two, I think the silicon solution is a better solution because there's no way that someone can knock the clip out and suddenly leave the tile unsecured. The silicon is more long-term, and I think it is a better solution than the valley clip. And all roofers carry a silicon gun with them. So if you are caught with a situation like this, then you can bring out the silicon, you can use silicon, you don't need a valley clip. And if you do it correctly, then the silicon method, I would think, is a performance solution. Now, I haven't gone through the process of proving that the silicon solution is a performance solution, because that is simply too hard. It's going to take me too long. But for me, over the years, I've used the silicon method very, very often. And for us, I think it is our performance solution for something that's going to stop the valley tiles from slipping off the anchor and causing a slip tile and a leak at the valley. So what do you guys think? The valley clip, my solution of silicon, or something else that you might have come up with as your performance solution to this common problem?